bushes to do another weekend solo excursion. Hopefully the weather stays nice and it should be a lot of fun for you guys. Gotta have my lunch. Almost done. All right. Well, immediately I'm sweating. These bugs are so bad. It's just a little bit wet, almost swampy. So I know water's close, but it's just so gross right now. There's just bugs everywhere. So I want to try to find somewhere a little bit more open, because this stuff that I'm trekking through, see behind me, is very, very difficult and slow going. So I think I see an opening just up ahead. I'm gonna see if I can get myself to that opening and see if there's a suitable spot to set up camp. That's what I came out of. And look what I found. Oh yeah. So all of this over here is really marshy. So I'm gonna see if I can go. And there's a nice little spot around the corner. So the landscape kind of changes. It's less wet and it's a little bit more rocky with some taller old growth trees. And there's a lot of new ones in here. So I think I just gotta find myself a spot to set up camp. Rotten log. Alright, so one of the reasons I chose this spot was it's very close to an opening. Not only is this more comforting because you can see rather than just feeling isolated and surrounded by thick forest, it also is a great foundation to signal off of. If you're deep in the woods and trying to signal, you have like next to no choice, no chance of getting found. So when you're near an opening like this, you have a large area where you can set up a signal or a signal fire, something to that sort of effect, and get yourself rescued. So I quickly just tried to find an opening as soon as I was lost. I didn't want to travel far because as soon as you're lost, people are going to come looking for you where you last were. If you go wandering all day, you're going to be somewhere else, and your rescuers aren't going to be looking for you where you first got lost at. So if you can, stay as close to where you are as possible. So I didn't go very far, found this nice opening. If rescue was going to come, it would come in the next maybe 24 hours, let's say. So I would want to be ready with a signal. And ultimately, I need water. Fire is not a necessity, but with my materials that I brought, I am able to make fire. Shelter. Looks like we are probably going to get some rain And other than that, rescue is going to be the top priority, but I don't have anyone looking for me, so. Alright. So I thought I'd just sit down and show you all what I had. Obviously I have the camera for taking video. I have a waterproof kind of outer layer. I have this black hoodie. Two polyester underlayers. I have long underwear underneath these track pants, my boots. I have water bottle full. So these flies are horrible. Should have brought some insect repellent. Like, oh, I'm gonna be itchy. I need to get a fire going after my shelter. Just afraid it's gonna rain on me. I got bear spray. I always bring some just in case. I've seen moose up here on my way up, and apparently there's a moose with her baby, so I don't want to get one of them angry, so better safe than sorry. Water purification drops. So water purification is not an issue. I don't need to boil it. I don't need to let it like sift through the earth, make a still or anything. These are just good to go. I can use whatever water I want, but I just don't want it to be, you know, like really gross water. I want it to be as clear and as fast moving as possible. I also have the luxury of bringing some food, protein bar, and 2 pieces of Lawnjager. So some just nice German smoked sausage, really good. My survival kit in a can. And I also brought a emergency space blanket because it's been raining here like unbelievably. There's been houses like washed down rivers on my way up here. There's one in the river because just there was so much water. We've been getting a lot of rain. So I brought one of these just, you know, I don't want to get wet because it was raining for probably like a week straight, and luckily it's not raining right now. It's surprising, but got that little space blanket. Other than that, I got a sleeping bag. I told myself I wasn't going to do another solo survival, but I'm out here again anyway. So I thought, you know what, I'll bring a sleeping bag because I know I can do it without, but it's really nice to have a sleeping bag. Yeah. That's it. The most physically demanding part of the experience for me is over, which is going to be the shelter building. Shelter building is always going to be the most draining. All I had was a little knife, my buck knife. So getting all the wood, it wasn't that hard because all the wood here is so rotten. It's all wet and it just breaks into pieces. You just hit it on a rock and it just shatters. So getting all these pieces of wood was no big deal. But now the hardest part is going to be getting my fire going, because the wood is also wet and I don't have like an axe or anything, a hatchet. This probably took, I'd say like maybe 2 hours to do. If I had like a hatchet, it would have probably cut it down to probably around like just an hour. Alright, so all I did for my shelter was I started by clearing away the ground. I want it to be flat, and I don't want it to be a spot where water would collect. And then I built a bed. Bed is the first thing. I want to make sure you fit on it and that it's got you off the ground. So I just made a nice layer of boughs. I put 2 logs along the edges, just so it kind of
cradles me in, I guess. So I'm not rolling anywhere. It's like kind of built up on the side, so I snug right in. Across the front, I also put logs as kind of like my pillow. So after the bed, I just made a basic frame out of 3 little logs. Then I strung my solar blanket, so that's going to be my waterproofing. And then I put on all these logs, so that's again going to help with waterproofing, along with just giving me the sense of protection that I'm looking for. But now once I have my solid shelter up, I am really not really worried about the rest of my excursion, because that was the most demanding part. Now where you have a nice cozy home, you're not really worried. I get really freaked out when it gets dark and I'm alone in the bushes, but when you have a nice shelter, it makes you feel so much more safe. So now I've started on my fireplace. So what I did, I got a bunch of rocks, threw them down, and then I put sand over top, or soil that I know doesn't have a lot of organic material in it, because the ground all around, on my last survival video, it was pretty much just bark mulch, all the ground. So when I lit my fire, everything just started to smoke, and it was just all on fire, pretty much, well, just smoldering. So that was quite a problem. So hopefully this is gonna cause that to stay under control. And I have a little bit of cardboard from my space blanket, so I'm gonna see if I can get this going and get these stupid bugs out of here. You can just feel how wet they are. That just bending. Quite frustrating. Whew, but those flies are leaving. Nice. I don't care how rotten or wet it is right now, because I just want to get it drying. I just want some nice solid pieces, so I don't just have to keep putting on small stuff. So ow. So I'm gonna have one of those sausages tonight. Probably gonna have a little bit right now because I'm really quite exhausted. For tonight, I just need to keep drinking to make sure that, you know, I have the fluids in my body. Other than that, it's gonna get dark pretty quickly, so I'm just gonna get this fire going real nice and, yeah, enjoy the rest of the night, I guess, alone. Well, I'm sorry to say, but I've come to a realization that I don't enjoy doing this. I don't really know why I do it. The first one, it was a challenge. I don't need to do it again. I didn't have to, but I did anyway. I'm just gonna do one night out here for you guys. So yeah, I'm sorry to say, but I'm probably not going to be doing solo survival videos anymore. Thank you so much for all of your support. Started out as something just kind of stupid. I didn't really know what I was doing, this YouTube channel, but I really thank you for all your support and your subscriptions and your comments. But I must say, it is very beautiful in nature. Just by yourself, it's just overwhelming. time for bed. I think it's around 9 o'clock. There's not much more to do. The sun has just gone down. Gonna let my fire die down, and guess I'll see you in the morning. Good night.
Morning. Last night was, I don't know why, I think I was really sore, just kind of everywhere. A lot in my jaw, my eyes. I think my eyes because of the smoke. But the shelter worked well. I think we got a little bit of rain last night, but nothing is wet at all. The bugs are annoying. Got bit right on my lip, but time to get up.